Assalamu alaikum OET aspirers. Life is tough. It's been 7 to 8 years that I'm training people, लेकिन मेरा ख्याल है कि मेरी बात आप लोगों के दिलों पे उतनी असर नहीं कर रही. In my house today we have OET expert from UK and he would talk about some tips and techniques, would also mention some of the ingredients which would help you to make a good dish. That means a straight B in OET. So let's listen to them directly and let's see what do you learn from there. And if you're preparing for IELTS, OET, PT, you know your space, that's GSL Pakistan, homemakers. Listen to them and then come back.
Assalamu alaikum everybody. Today we are going to talk about OET and I'm Aisha. I'm an OET expert at GSL Pakistan and today we have our guest. Over to you.
Thank you. So you may remember me from some of the previous videos. I am Mueed, the director and the head teacher of My IELTS Guide Limited UK, and OET is also one of our specialty and that's what we will be talking about today.
Yes. So I think we should start from the general aspects and the general hurdles that we face as a tutor, and also how students come to you and what are the challenges that they face as healthcare professionals.
Yeah, so exactly, we usually, I often tell doctors and nurses that you have a title of your own, a doctor, and you have achieved it, or in a way you have earned it after working for 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the line. And now suddenly you come on this obstacle where everything that your medical career deserves in the future is now stuck at a language exam.
Exactly.
And those future plans which are big enough are now suddenly at a pause now. So all the doctors who come to us, I tell them, well, you are experts of your field. You are doing pretty good jobs now. And just because you're out of your comfort zone now, just don't think that it's going to stay the same forever. Just understand that if I have come all this way, it's just not for nothing. There has to be something above as well. So they come with this, pre-anxious state of mind that how am I going to pass the test? There's not enough time for me. My deadlines are running out. I need to find a PLAB seat. I need to go to this and that. So that's the first thing that we often come across. That's I need to pass my test, but my test is 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now.
Most of the times they're not prepared as well.
Not at all. Usually they think that we can do the test because what happens is that OET, they think that just because it's a medical oriented exam, their medical knowledge is going to help them. Trust me, it won't.
It won't,
It won't, because surprisingly, most of the OET teachers, examiners, or the people who make the exam, they're not medical professionals. They are English teachers. They're language experts, just as we two are. So you have to have a proper language instructor in order to help you with the language exam.
Exactly.
So that's the trouble usually. And I'm sure when you come across students, what are the most common challenges that you think that there are?
There are so many challenges. At first they are, I don't want to offend any doctor here, but the thing is that they don't actually accept the fact that they might be lacking in something, because most of the times they are professionals and they are very good with whatever they do. But this is something that I think the first thing that they have to accept is that they don't know about certain things and they have to, they have to do this.
Yeah, I understand. So again, as I was saying before, they have passed a lot of competitive exams, and then suddenly it's the English test. So once you tell them that this is wrong and this is that, what happens is, I guess they don't mind what you tell them. What they actually go into self-doubt is that, will I make it? Will I not make it?
That is anxiety part. I think another thing that they find it very difficult to do is that, sometimes maybe they have this specific pattern of learning. So the breaking the pattern is the actual challenge. Even if they are not stubborn enough, but still they have this challenge.
Yeah, this is the second thing that we'll talk about now, that generally from what I have seen with doctors and nurses alike, in their college life, medical, all that, the stuff that they do, as long as they're not exhausted at the end of the day, they feel like we haven't done much. So if they are preparing for their FCPS or whatever the exam is, 100 papers, they are doing 20 a day, we are doing 30 a day. So volume for them equals learning. For OET, you have to be smart. You have to be a smart learner. And you don't have to be exhausted at the end of the day to be self-aware that I'm doing something, right? So you don't over-exhaust yourself. You need to know what I don't know, right? That's the true wisdom, actually, that I know this, but this is something I am not aware of, so I need to understand better. We get a lot of doctors and also nurses sometimes that, okay, I'm not doing well in writing, or I'm not doing well in listening or reading. All right, so what was your first score? 32. What's your score now? 35. How many papers have you done? Sir, I've completed all of them.
Yes. Because they are, you know, I think they're prone to hard work so much that
Yeah.
they find it very difficult.
Exactly.
I have a lot of
So,
students, and they used to work hard till 2 a.m. at night.
Yeah.
So in the morning they used to be so exhausted, and they did not even you know understand whatever
Yeah.
I was telling them.
As-
And it's very hard for them. But again, that also adds into the anxiety that they have.
Exactly.
already.
So it all basically interconnects, to be honest. That if you are just trying to work smart, you have to over here there are a couple of two things that you need to do. Number one, assess your performance, and number two, reward yourself while you're at it. First, let's talk about the assessment part. I'll give this very funny example that let's say you are learning how to drive a car, and for some reason somebody told you that the accelerator is the brake and the brake is the accelerator, and you hit the wall. Now day two comes, you repeat the same, you go hit the wall again, and you're left wondering, where did I go wrong, right?
Yeah.
You don't know, you can't repeat the same every single day and expect different results. So once you hit the wall on day one, go back home, see what went wrong.
Exactly.
You misunderstood the accelerator for the brake for the accelerator. The next time now, you won't hit the wall. You might drive badly, but at least the wall is safe, and so are you. So understand where I'm going wrong and what I need to fix. Evaluate yourself after every performance. Because see, what happens is that if exam is a different thing, mistakes in exams are costly. In practice, they are a blessing for you.
Yes.
It's good to make mistakes here, not in the exam day, because over here you can fix it, I can fix it. On the test day, you get marked down for it. What happens with doctors is that they do a test, it's 42 out of 30, they are disappointed now, they are sad with their performance. Don't be, you still have time. Understand where those 12 mistakes went. How did you make them? Why did you make them? Did you misunderstood the question? Did you know what the answer is, but you misunderstood some words from the question? Analyze yourself. See what went wrong. Only then you can fix it. So smart work, not hard work, right?
They are, again, I will say the same. There is one of the students, he has done, I think, 14 letters one day, and all of them has had the same
It's the
mistakes.
same mistake,
So
right?
I think, again, I was very much sad about it on my behalf, second hand sadness, because I really wanted them to, you know, learn something before they had to do a lot of work.
Exactly.
So that is some disappointment that they had to face as well.
Yeah, right. So now the second part is that self-reward thing.
Yeah.
It's tough. Learning is tough. Studying for an exam is not easy. Once you go into the test hall one day and you spend 2 to 3 hours, I'm sure for the next 2 days you don't feel all right. You go home, you want to eat something nice, you want to sleep because it's mentally exhausting. It's not a good experience. And for a candidate, they are experiencing the same for, let's say, 3, 4, 5 weeks, sometimes even months on average, and there is no reward to them. They are thinking about the long run, and they're just like, okay, I will pass the test and then I'll feel happy. No, feel proud of yourself for what you're doing today, because it's important. So what I tell candidates is, you have long-term goals and I appreciate them, but cut them into small pieces. Make a weekly plan, because if you want to do 100 papers before your test, well, okay, good on you to do it. But just break it down into saying that I'll do 4 papers a week. So once you do it, it's the weekend now. Go have your favorite burger, go have some rice, go have some chocolate bar, but reward yourself, because this self-reward will make you feel like I have done something, right? Otherwise, what happens is at the end of the day, you are thinking that at the end of that week, that I have done 4 tasks now, 96 are still remaining. So you will be disappointed in yourself. You would want to do more and more. But if you think of it as a weekly plan, and if you have, let's say, 8 weeks to study, 8 into 4, you are doing good. You are fine. You are fine. So every week reward yourself, because if your mind is happy, you will study well. You will feel like I am doing something. And then when you take those small steps, you are good to go. Yeah.
That is a very good thing that you actually addressed. One of my students used to do that, and she got straight B's, and within 2 to 3 weeks. And I always used to get a little anxious on her behalf, because I was thinking that, you know, she's not practicing enough and she's treating herself way too much, because, you know, she used to come here. I used to give her lectures 2 times a day, in the morning and in the evening as well. And the time the time that she had with herself, she used to eat a lot, and then she used to look forward to the other papers and everything. But she scored really well, because
so here we go. Self-reward definitely goes a long way, and you have to do this because, you know, things are tough for you. There are deadlines coming in. You go work with patients. I mean, being at a hospital is not a very exciting experience. You're already overstressed, you're already overworked, a lot of things on your mind, deadlines are coming in, family issues, lots of things to be there. A chocolate bar can help that. right?
Also, one more thing is that most of the nurses, they are married most of the times.
Yeah.
So as
yeah.
per my experience, they most of them are married, and I think the female nurses I'm
Yeah.
talking about, and it's very hard for them to do all of the things all together. So whenever I tell one of my students, she's a nurse and she's very competitive, but the thing is that she doesn't have any time to practice because
Yeah.
at home she's with kids and then she has to go to the duty and
Yeah.
everything. So how do you cope with such kind of students?
Yeah, so managing deadlines again, self-assessment, self-reward, and then how do you manage your deadlines? Number one, don't go around online or your friends asking, well, what's your routine or how much are you doing? Because they are not you, you are not them. And people sometimes over-exaggerate their performances. So even if I did one test a day, I might tell my fellow that, well, I did 3. I may be lying, I don't know, right? So first of all, try to understand what my routine is, what my work schedule is. Am I off from work or do I need to be at the hospital every day? Because if you are going there, you have rotating shifts. You have maybe from 9 to 9, you are going there on a night basis. So you have very limited time with you. So you need to understand how much time can I spare for learning? Not that how much time should I spare for learning, how much time do I have? Because if you only have 3 hours a day free time, even if I tell you need 6, you can't have 6. So I'm talking about something impossible now. You can't make 3 into 6 now. You have 3 hours. Okay, how can I do things now? Achievable goals, right? Exactly. Achievable, realistic, and sustainable as well in the long run. So you need to now understand that how much time do I have, number one, and how much time do I need to invest in my learning. So 3 hours of constantly doing papers and at the end not even evaluating yourself is wrong. But if you spend 1 hour, do the paper, the next 30 minutes just trying to learn from your mistakes, you are good to go. So try to manage how much time do you have, how much learning do I need, and how much time can I spare. Again, work smart, not hard. Yeah.
So what would you suggest to a person who has just 2 weeks now? And how would you suggest or how would you make a plan, a study plan for him?
Yeah, for 2 weeks now, things are going to be incredibly tough, to be honest, because here we have to divide it into 2 ways now. Listening and reading can be self-sustained, self-managed, because those are pretty objective. I mean, you either get the right answer or you get a wrong answer. So there are a number of strategies at play. Start working on them and keep on practicing every single day and you are good to go. So if you have 1 week to go, I would spend at least 5 or 6 days, or let's say a week, on just listening and reading, and then the other week on writing and speaking, because now these are very objective, very subjective skills, and you need a lot of efforts there to work on. But then the good part with OET is that there are some basic structures to follow, and as long as you do that, things can be good for you, which I guess will be the topic for our next podcast, I guess.
तो जी मैंने तो बहुत इन्जॉय किया, रिलैक्स किया. आई होप कि आपने भी इसको इन्जॉय किया और सीखा. फिर भी कोई क्वेश्चंस अगर बच गए हैं तो कमेंट बॉक्स में मेंशन कीजिए. इंशाल्लाह वी विल आंसर इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन. गॉड ब्लेस यू एंड गॉड ब्लेस पाकिस्तान.